Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you, and let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen. Nio. Why is Nio down? Why is everything down right now? Good grief. We're going to do an update and an outlook on this. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Always talking about these damn elephants. All right, let's get into Nio. All right, as you can see, it's China's Rony Rona outbreak has turned grim in Shanghai, and they've increased their lockdowns. And I can't say the actual words, otherwise YouTube will timestamp me and shadow ban me and probably put me on this.
Then as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
That's right. They'll put me on double secret probation. But anyway, basically it's the Rony Rona has really kicked the Chinese stocks in the teeth. And here we are. We're finally getting past all the delisting FUD. It looks like China's going to cooperate and allow audits. You know, it's not finalized. That'll be a big day when that happens, but the delisting fear has dropped significantly. And that was really holding back Nio. It's hurting Nio bad. It's one of the things that caused it to go down to freaking $13, which is ridiculous. But now we've got the Rony Rona rearing its ugly head, and that's the one thing I talked about in the last couple of videos that I was concerned about because I don't like the way they're handling it. I don't think it's going to work with this version. You know, that worked okay with the first version or the second one, but this last one that just ran through the United States and then disappeared, that's kind of the way it wants to do. It's just a problem, and I think locking it down, I don't know if that's going to work, and I've been concerned about that. Like I said in the last few videos, I was like, dang it, I don't like the way they're handling that because I don't think it's going to work. But anyway, that seems to be the big problem with the Chinese stocks, and we'll cover that right here. Here it says, in the major city of Shanghai remains extremely grim amid an ongoing lockdown, city officials said to the AP. It says the director of Shanghai's working group on the Rony Rona control told local media that Shanghai's recent outbreak was still running at a high level. They're working hard to contain the outbreak, extending the recent lockdown to cover all 25 million people living there. They've got about, 13,000 per day in cases, etc., and so on and so forth. So that's the problem there. And they're, like I say, they're trying to do the lockdown. That's not going to help Nio or any Chinese stock. The other issue is the Fed. There are people there talking about how they're behind the curve on the interest rates. And of course, one of the most dovish people on the Fed has basically become hawkish, and now Bullard is very hawkish anyway. So I think they're looking to increase interest rates pretty significantly over the next probably 6 months. And I'm kind of thinking that we're looking at a 50 basis point for the next couple of raises because inflation's out of control. And it says the comments come the day after minutes from the March FOMC meeting indicated officials were close to approving a 50 basis point rate hike, but they settled on the 25. So we'll see how this is going to roll. I think this next one, you know, it's probably going to be a 50 basis points. I know they went with a quarter point on the first one, but I don't know. I get the feeling it'll be a 50 basis points and maybe one or two in a row. We'll see how that plays out. It's kind of tough because you're really trying to balance how much you want to slow down the flow of money out of banks into businesses and how much it costs to have that money. And that will slow things down and it will tamp down inflation some. But a lot of this inflation is based on food and gas and things like that. And I don't know how much interest rates are going to affect that. So it's a very difficult balancing act for the Fed. One great thing is we're not having the problem with the Rony Rona over here. That latest version ran through us, and like I said, we're good now, it appears to me. We'll see over time. Hopefully that's the case because that's going to be very bullish for the market long term, but we are dealing with the turmoil of these issues. So here we sit at $20.26. We had run up to about 24 bucks, which was great, but the Rony Rona and the Fed has kind of got the whole market scared. And really every stock, especially in the NASDAQ, is kind of dived in the last few days. It's not just Nio by any stretch, but they've got the added problem of the Rony Rona. So, you know, we're just going to have to watch this thing closely. This might end up being a good buying point long term. And if this gets down below 20 or gets down in the high teens, I'll just add to my position because this is a good long-term price to be getting this stock at. I think a year from now, we're going to be in a very different place because the Rony Rona should go away over there. And I think eventually they're going to continue to build those cars and sell them at a really good clip. And let's understand, nothing has changed fundamentally with the company. They're still making great products. They just released the ET7. They're going to have the ET5 in September. They're already getting to the point to where they're going to be able to build 240,000 vehicles at their JAC plant as they continue to ramp up. They've got Nio Park right here, which is going to be opening second half of this year. And realize they're going to be able to build about 240,000 vehicles a year there also. 120,000 with one shift, 240,000 with two, and they can do as many as 300,000 if they add some overtime. So this company is going to get to 500,000 vehicles per year just with these two factories, and that's going to change the trajectory of this stock dramatically. And it should be profitable by next year according to their estimations. And usually when a company, especially an EV company, gets profitable, that really changes the narrative big time on it. And all the people that have been down on it, they usually jump in. And if you remember what happened with Tesla, now I don't think Nio's going to do like Tesla and just go straight up, which Tesla went to the moon. It really did. When they turned profitable, the world shifted. Now, I think Nio will see a very nice bump when that happens, and people won't be able to put a lot of FUD out there once it starts making a profit. And we're, like I said, probably a year away from that. And that's not a long time in investing, not at all, especially with a company that's sitting there at $20. I mean, give me a break. All right, folks, and that's just a quick update on Nio. Like I said, we just got a couple of things working against us there. It's fundamentally, the company is fine. They're doing all the right things. I'm not concerned about them long term, but they do have these short-term issues, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. But this lockdown, I just don't know how long that's going to last, and I don't know how effective it's going to be. But that's an update on Nio. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover Nio. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'd certainly appreciate it. And I hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.